Today I'm going to look at solving a system using the elimination method. Now this also can take the form of the addition subtraction method. Some people just call it the elimination method, but it's all the same. What we're trying to do is we're trying to eliminate one of the variables. So it's called the elimination method. And the way we're going to eliminate one of the variables is using either addition or subtraction. And that's where the addition or subtraction method name comes into play. So when we're looking at a system, we have 2x minus 3y equals 2, 5x minus 3y equals 8. When we're using the elimination method, we want to see, do we have coefficients of a variable either the same sign or opposite sign with the same constant or the same coefficient. So here, for example, I have 2x, 5x. There's no way that I could add or subtract the x's. That's going to zero out or eliminate the x's. If I look at the y, I have negative 3y, negative 3y. Those are the same. So I can eliminate the y's here by using subtraction because they're the same sign. So whenever we have same sign, you want to subtract. But if they're opposite signs, you want to add. And if you think about just the logic there, opposite signs, so if we have like negative 2 and positive 2, if I add 2 together, so if I had like negative 2x and positive 2x, if I add those together, that's going to be 0. It eliminates the x's. Where with the same signs, so if I had positive 2 and positive 2, x, and I subtract, 2x minus 2x is 0. So that's why when we have the same signs we want to subtract, opposite signs we want to add. A huge point of just struggle with using the elimination that I've noticed is this concept here when we have negative 3 and negative 3. A lot of people think like, oh, they're negatives, I'm going to add to zero them out. Yes, they're negatives, but they're the opposite. I'm sorry. Yes, they are negatives, but they are the same signs. They're both negative. So I still have to subtract. Whenever they're the same signs, it doesn't matter if they're both positive or both negative. You have to subtract when they're the same sign. So now, here's how I like to show doing subtraction with elimination. Is I want to do 2x minus 5x. So 2 minus 5 is going to be negative 3x. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. And then I have negative 3 minus a negative 3. So negative 3 minus a negative 3. So what ends up happening is negative 3 plus 3 is 0. It eliminates the y's. That's our whole goal with elimination, is to eliminate one of our variables. So that worked, negative 3 minus negative 3. And if you're not sure what sign to use, just go ahead and try adding. What happens if you were to do negative 3 plus negative 3, you would get negative 6. That wouldn't eliminate the y's, so that wouldn't work. So that's why then you'd have to think about, well, maybe I should subtract, and then that would eliminate the y's there. Okay, so then we have 2 minus 8. So 2 minus 8 is negative 6. Then, once we eliminate one of the variables successfully, we just now solve a one-step equation. So I'm going to divide by negative 3. I get x equal to positive 2. So that's one of my answers. So that's my x value. Now I have to go back and get my y value. And here we have pretty much the freedom to substitute it back into either equation, either the top or bottom. I typically like to use the easier looking one, which both of these are pretty much the same in terms of difficulty, but I'll go with this one with the smaller numbers. So I'm going to substitute x in for this first equation of 2 times 2 minus 3y equals 2. So the only thing I'm substituting is x in for x, and I'm using this equation. The only reason I'm using this is just purely by choice. You could also do the bottom equation and you'll have the exact same answer. But I'm just going off of the top one here just because of visually it looks a little bit easier with the smaller numbers. Probably at the same level of difficulty. So I'm going to solve this now for y. So I have 2 times 2, because I substituted in 2 for x. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 3y equals 2. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. I get negative 3y. Pay attention here. This is minus 3y, so when you rewrite this, this is negative 3y equals 2 minus 4 is negative 2. 2 minus 4. Solve for y. I'm going to divide by negative 3. We get y equals negative over a negative, makes that a positive, and then it just stays 2/3. It's not anything that we can simplify. It doesn't divide cleanly, so y is equal to 2/3. So our ordered pair for our solution here would be 2 and 2/3. And if you want, you can go back and check it if you really wanted to. Like if I wanted to do 2 times 2 minus 3 times 2/3, I should get back the answer of 2. 2 times 2 is 1 minus, 2 times 2 is 4. And then this is going to be minus 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 equals 2. Check. I think I was 2 times a half is what I was thinking about when I said 1. So yeah, 2 times 2 is 4, and then that checks out. So there you go, solving that system using elimination.